How you doing, everyone? This is Harvest Harry here, and welcome back to another episode of
Building Stuff,
where, as usual, we are going to sit back, relax, and calmly build some things. Fuck that. Where, as usual, I'm going to be showing you how to
build stuff.
Next up is the farmhouse. So, let's build. Right, so the sperm of our build is actually going to be this small floor here, and in this episode I've decided to not be a complete arsehole and actually show you the exact position this time. So if I line this floor up with the centre of my screen and look up, you will see that the cursor appears just to the left of the centre of this line on the projector screen. And if we were to position ourselves underneath this point on the projector screen and turn around, you will see that it takes
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
20 steps to get to the edge of the small floor. The elevation of this floor piece is quite important as it will guide the entire ground floor of this build into position, so I hope this helps. Once this floor is in, we're then going to snap this round metal doorway onto it. Next, we're going to give this doorway an erection to be proud of in the form of these sort of half-cylinder type metal walls, vaguely named shack wall and roofs. Be sure to extend these right into the face of the small cliff edge just over here. Once you feel that the cliff face has been sufficiently penetrated by your long metal tube, you can then go ahead and get rid of the previous pieces, leaving the final two remaining. Then simply pop your doorway back on, and then that's that bit done. This is why we needed that floor back there. Placing it over there means that by the time we get over here with our metal structure, the floors are completely hidden by the ground it's clipping into. You'll see why this is important when you see what we're putting in there a bit later. Just so you know, there are other means of achieving this, but I can promise you this method involves far less do you know what? Fuck this. Than any other that I tried, so while you might be wasting a little bit of metal, you will be saving your controller from being lodged into your next door neighbour's head. No neighbours were harmed during the making of this episode. The next part is where we begin to experience a great deal of pain in our bottoms as we try to build the rest of this rather square structure around this quintessentially round structure. Firstly, we need to temporarily remove this half of one of the cylinders so we can snap this shack floor and roof to the top of the other half. Then we need to snap a small floor to it, remove the shack floor and roof, then snap two small floors to that small floor, and then finally snapping another shack floor and roof to these two small floors. And then of course getting rid of those two small floors. This will then enable us to snap a wall to the underside of this floor and roof. Once that's in, we can then pop our staircase in. This then lets us put our walls in on the other side of the staircase. The first wall should snap in no problem at all. The second one, however, I recommend bringing the wall close to you, touching the ground and at an angle. This, for some reason, makes it snap to the other wall much easier.
Reasons.
And before we move on, we might as well pop this metal wall back in. Marvellous! Next we're going to snap this shack floor and roof to the top of these stairs. We will eventually be replacing this with the foundation, but for now we need to exploit the roof part of this piece. And then just get rid of these two walls here, again temporarily, so we can snap the flat roof to the floor and roof. It's the same trick as before, but we're just using it on the other side of the building. So once your roof is in, just pop your wall in, and then you can snap these two metal walls back in. The reason we leave this space here without a wall is that we first need to align our windmill with the rest of the building. A little less fucking about required with this one. Just need to move this wall out of the way, snap a floor and roof to the top half of the remaining wall, and then you should be able to snap a flat roofed prefab onto the roof part of the floor and roof like so. This can be a bit fiddly, but given a bit of persuasion it will go in eventually. Once that's in, just snap these fences to the floor part of the prefab. Get rid of this little fucker, again. Pop your wall in, and then put your metal tube back together. It might look a bit tight, but these should still snap in no problem. I snapped the round door back in just to give you an idea of what everything should look like here, but there is no need to do so just yet, as we will need to take it off again a bit later. Again. At this point we can finally build the first floor of this building, starting with replacing the shack floor and roof I mentioned earlier with the wooden foundation. And then snap the floors in over our metal structure. I prefer to use these mesh floors that came with the Wasteland Workshop DLC so we can see the metal tube underneath, which I think looks pretty smart. Then of course we can put our walls in. I'd recommend using the thicker wooden walls at the rear end of the building, as these kind of make it look like the house is built into the cliff face, with the rocky surface clipping through the wood. Next we're going to snap our roofs in. Probably the only part of this build that isn't exploiting some kind of unexplained clipping mechanic. And then we'll pop this wall in here. We're going to leave this area on the left blank for now until we've finished our business on the outside. Next we're going to snap these two prefabs to the front of the house, and then this floor to this prefab, and then these two small floors off of that floor. With these in place we can snap our fences to the outer edge of these floors. The reason we're doing it this way is so that the base of the fences clip through the ground slightly, rather than just resting on top of it as they would if we just placed them normally. Once they're in, just get rid of the prefabs and the floors, and then it's on to the final part of our structure, the balcony. No fucking about required for this one, just 2 floors, some fences, and voila. Now it's time to clip our windmill generator through the roof of the prefab from earlier. Luckily it's just a simple case of popping it on a rug and then popping it into place. When rug glitching large items such as these into place, the game tends to place the rug in the middle of your screen and not the item you're trying to glitch. So I'd recommend moving the windmill into the middle of your screen to make it easier to line up with the edges of the roof of the prefab. Once the windmill is in, then that's the building part pretty much done. But before we proceed with some furniture, I recommend moving our 2-headed tenant into their new home first. But of course, before we do that, we need to find the little bastard. To make things easier when we actually get our Brahmin over here, just place this feed trough inside our metal tube. This should make it a little more content with moving in. Now, where is my lovely little pink abomination? Oh, there he is. I must admit, mate, when I said that you were moving into a new home, this isn't quite what I had in mind. Come on you, let's get a move on. To move Brahmin, or in fact any uncooperative NPC in your settlement, all you need to do is place down one of these 8 defense turrets, pick it up again, and use it to push and shove the Brahmin where you need him to go. I must thank Davey at norespawns for this amazing little tip, and I'll leave a link to the full video he done on this and to his channel in the description below. And with that said, cue the music. When you finally get the little fucker in there, quickly fence it in so it can't get back out. And then we're going to get nice and cozy with our new housemate while we wait for him to finish his completely invisible meal. In your own time, mate. Aha! It's mine. It's all mine. Seriously, Brahmin, are you trying to jeopardise my whole fucking recording here? Get out of the way! Then simply place it outside of the fence we put in the doorway. Once that's done, simply exit through this wall here, and there you have it! A nice little pen for our horrifically mutated resident. Now for some furniture. Starting with the outside area of our farmer's new gaff. Firstly, we're going to put a bin in this little corner here, and to do so we're going to have the rug glitcher in there like so. For some reason, these bins just don't like being placed too close to anything. Next, we're going to have a nice shitty bench over here, followed by a few plants placed hither and thither, and lastly, a nice little grill next to our Brahmin. And no, we're not going to cook him yet. Now for the interior of the house, starting off with some nice farm-like paintings. Followed by a couple of beds, a bedside table, obviously, a large rug, table and chairs, some shelves, a flag, and a nice patio area on the balcony with an umbrella table and chairs. Now it's time to wire everything up, of which there is luckily very little, seeing that this is a relatively small building width-wise. So just a small pylon here and a conduit here should do for the entire structure. Happy days. At this point your farmhouse should be looking a little something like this. Still a bit dim in here though, so let's light the pace up a bit. Starting off with the outdoor lighting with this cage wall light above our flag, some fairy lights above our little bundle of joy here, And then upstairs we're going to have a fan light in the centre of the room, some candles, a fire barrel here, a fire barrel there, these glowing bulb lantern things in the middle of the umbrella, and a radio on the table here. Not much of a light, I know, but I forgot to put it in earlier, alright. Stupid! All that's left to do now is the junk, of which there is quite a lot, I must admit, so bear with me. We're going to begin with these bags of fertiliser, which of course is a polite way of saying that we're going to leave several bags of shit strewn about the place. Next, of course, some cups, a breadboard, some more cups, some ashtrays, oh, and another cup here, yes, some ground working tools for our farmer, just one more over here, and a dinner tray for our table, oh, and a chair for the outro. And there you have it, everyone, your very own farmhouse, complete with Brahmin and windmill. Sort of. And just to give you an idea of what the finished product will actually look like, here's what it looks like during the day. And here's what it looks like at night. And that just about wraps up this episode of
Building Stuff.
I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you out in some way or another. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, then be sure to check out the previous videos of Building Stuff, links to each episode in the description below. And if you're a returning subscriber, then it's great to have you back here, and thank you so much for your continued support with this series as well as others on the channel. Anyway, have a sexy afternoon. Until next time.